as we were speaking earlier as well, that I would say that people in the US have voted for a leader who could connect. You were speaking about a lot of times, ideologies and the, extreme left tries to portray a leader as something else. But I think they failed to see it in India when Narendra Modi came back to power, and they failed to see it here in the US when Donald Trump has got. And I'm telling you, I was speaking to a lot of strategists on both sides. One overwhelming view here is that people voted, whether it was voters, the Americans, or the white Americans, from African American community, Indian American in an overwhelming number, Latinos, even women voters, as was being done. Because what Donald Trump did is strategically send out a message that it's a battle between him, who is not an insider, he's the Washington outsider, compared to somebody who was an insider. And the Democratic Party failed to see, because they were being backed by a set of elites who made them think that they can win the votes and can win the election. The challenge is a lot of these politicians don't realize that the real voter lives in the hinterland. For them, basic issues like inflation, basic issues like fuel prices, those are very important. Also, the narrative. I would say Donald Trump was able to get, a narrative right. He comes across, yes, there are, he may come across as somebody, who's mercurial. But sometimes the voters tend to choose a leader, and that's what is happening. And I will just take a quick minute on how this will impact on the world. Donald Trump 2.0, I expect, will also not be a replica of Donald Trump 1.0. He has also realized, that's the reason you saw his making amends, whether on the abortion thing. He said, I'm not going to go for a national abortion ban. He distanced himself from a so-called Project 2025. He's already spoken about a great partnership with India. He has a great rapport with Prime Minister Modi, and I would see leader-to-leader diplomacy working more effectively to solve certain global issues. American people have given an overwhelming mandate to Donald Trump. There is a message here. The message is that what he stands for, what he has been espousing, the American people have democratically elected him, and now let the controversy should rest. That, what was he talking about, that he will take America to an extreme country and all that. Having said that, he is somebody, I was speaking to a lot of Indian Americans. He was the first candidate who spoke. He made a clear distinction about skilled immigrants. His wife Melania, came to the U.S. as an immigrant. Elon Musk, a big supporter of Donald Trump, came to the U.S. As an immigrant. The fact that he's talking about skilled immigrants, a lot of Indian Americans, I'll tell you this election, why did they vote for Donald Trump overwhelmingly? Despite the fact that Kamala Harris, a candidate of South Asian origin, because the Democrats never provided a pathway for them to get, they are the Indians today, despite the fact paying heavy taxes here. You know that I interviewed Donald Trump and obviously interacted later as well several times. When he visited India, I asked him a specific question on Islamic fundamentalism, which he answered, and he has been very tough on terrorism. So that obviously will be a major rallying point in this Trump administration. And I must allay the fear for a lot of people who are Trump skeptics. Let me say that a different Trump may have been there on the campaign trail, but the fact that he has won some of the women voters is because of his moderate stance even on abortion issue. He has said it very clearly that he will not go for a national ban on abortion, which was being talked about. He's also distanced himself from a certain Project 2025, which was being touted by some as a very extreme agenda. I would say Donald Trump will obviously is an unpredictable man, maybe unpredictable president. He will not be like Joe Biden, But I would say on the India partnership largely, we will be able, if he does become the US president, we will be able to convey a lot of core concern that India has, whether it is with China. He is very clear that China poses a threat as much to any democracy like India, US, and he is very firm on that. On Islamic terrorism, he is again very firm on that because he has been, and India has a concern on, what's happening in Jammu and Kashmir last few, days since the new government has been formed in, has been troubling. So certainly one of India's core concern will be there as well. Yes, there will be issues of disagreement, and I would agree on tariffs. We have some smart people to negotiate that. There will be some give and take, and I don't see any cause of concern there. And if Donald Trump does become the president of the United States, I would see the India relationship growing, and I would say skilled immigrants in the United States should have a ray of hope. He spoke about giving green card to all the college graduates who pass out of US university. That may not be true because that requires the congressional approval, and that will be a tall order. But I do feel that skilled immigration may be a thing that he may be able to address because Democrats were not able to address it, and that's the reason why they have lost support of the Indian American community in this election.